What's up, friends? My name's Aaron Ciotti. That's the new intro. Everybody calls me Ciotti. You can call me whatever you want. That was the intro. Hi. Welcome to Forage Friday. Forage Friday, we're gonna finally get the Ummagawd 250 back together. I didn't realize I did everything. I think it just needs it just needs 5 screws to be screwed in and the top plate to be put on. I don't. It's been so long since I swapped the AIO in it that I don't really remember. I remember the old AIO blew up. Oh, the blown up AIO is still in it. So I guess I haven't done anything on it. We'll plug it in and see what's blown up about the AIO. I think it was I don't know. We'll plug it in. We'll see what's what. If the AIO that's in it is blown up, we're actually going to be installing an Aikon AIO, the brand new Aikon AIO. A couple of these got sent to me by Ryan Harrell of Mini Quad Test Bench. And yeah, I've been really wanting to put these into a rig to test them out, and this would be the perfect rig for that. So yeah, it's got 2004 Aerolite motors, 3500 kV, so it'll really push the ESC pretty good. This Aikon AIO though is like a 60 amp or something, so never gonna kill it with amp draw. But we're certainly going to pound on it to see how it deals with impacts and whatnot. Hey, I finally killed an Aikon 30x30. I don't think that I've killed a single one of them other than it getting physically hit so hard that chips got like pushed off of it, which nothing's going to survive that, right? Like, so yeah, that was fun. Like, that's wild. I put a fresh one on. It was that rig we were working on the other day. I thought maybe it was the motor. It was not the motor. So yeah, the Aikon ESCs are eventually killable, but good lord, you have to really beat them to death for a long time to make that happen. In the chat, Frankie B FPV was first. No, he wasn't. Tommy Noose was first. Dead Chicken FPV was next. There's Frankie B. And then, Jesus, you guys were in here early hanging out. Riot 9, Harbles FPV, Ram Donko, Alpha Sloth, CMYK, Tommy Noose, Riot 9, Expander, Big Tom FPV, Chopper FPV. There's Dead Chicken again, Riot 9, Tommy again, you Jellin. Metal Dirt Skin, Frank Nicholas is here, Tommy Noose again, Riot 9 again, Paul McDonald, Brandon Woodford, Squints FPV, what's up, Adam? Chomper FPV, Chopper and Chomper, both here. Who else do we have? Dead Chicken again, Aircon's in the house, Mr. Huggy's arrived. 65 amps, rather, thank you, Mr. Huggy. Captain Calgary, Dead Chicken, 661, Dan Richmond, Northern Tier, what's up, friends? I was just out flying with a bunch of the local guys and Mike, but you know, I had to leave and go to work. I had to walk around and say, all right, I gotta go to work. Here I am, hanging out with my favorite people. Nice Metal Dirt Skin. Yeah, this Hugo sent this to me Christmas of last year, I think, when I did a big order with them. All right, let's get caught up on chat real quick here, and then we'll start farting around with things. Alpha Sloth, tag me. Oh, hey, if you want to talk directly to me, just tag me. Type CiottiFPV. It'll light that up in orange. I don't know that you're talking to me. This is my full-time job. If you want to support me, CiottiFPV.com has a bunch of ways you can do that. Patreon helps me out the most and gives you the most value. You can also work one-on-one with me on Fiverr if you want to learn how to tune better, build better, fly better. Etsy store, Teespring page, and a bunch of affiliate links. Next time you're doing an FPV order, think of your gangly friend, hit my affiliate link, and I'll get free money, and I'll keep making this content for you beautiful bastards. Alpha Sloth says, hello, handsome. CMYK says, what's up, collective? And CiottiFPV. Big Tom says, hey, you crazy bastard, hope you're doing all right. Brandon Woodford says, how's it going tonight, man? Going well. Mr. Huggy says, you got that 65 amp AIO. Michael D says, just listening while I'm with the lawn. Nice. Metal Dirtson says, church timing is perfect. Just got a big haul of new antennas from Kanukistan. Tommy News says, Frankie B was first. All right, cool. Yeah, let's play. I've got a, again, it's been a long time since I thought about or worked on this 250. So I've got a big old build bag. I try to, here's a organizational tip for you. Make build bags. Get a bunch of, next time you're at the store, get a whole bunch of Ziploc bags. I really like this size, especially for bigger, for 5-inch builds. For micro builds, you can probably use the bags that you get 5-inch propellers in. But yeah, put your builds in bags, and one of the really cool things about that is, like, as you get more and more pieces of the build, you can just add it to the bag. So, you know, you get the frame first, you throw it in the bag. Then you get a extra Crossfire Nano, you throw it in the bag. You get your VTX, throw it in the bag. Eventually, the bag will fill up to the point where it's ready to be built, and you build it, and you profit. And then I also try to do that with like completed builds if I have like extra parts for them, and then also when those builds blow up, you can like put it into that bag with the extra stuff, and then when you're ready to work on it, you take it out and away you go. So I did get an extra Aerolite. Look at me go. I am the genius. Do I have one in that bag? I do not. I will put this in the motor box, I think, because once this thing is back up in the air, that's where I'll look. Cool. Gemfan 3.5s are going to go back onto it. I really like this 250 frame with the 4-inch arms and 3.5-inch propellers. I will admit, I do wish that I could put a, you know, I'm probably gonna, yeah, I don't know. I guess I'll bounce back and forth between the 3.5s and the 4-inch props. The 250 is such a light frame, that with, in my opinion at least, with these, with the 4-inch props, it's still a little too floaty. Like it's still hard to throw it over stuff. The problem that I have with floatiness is that, for the same reason that it takes longer to come down when you're off throttle, right? Like that's kind of the definition of floatiness. That same flight characteristic prevents you from being able to throw it up over trees and whatnot, and throw it up over just stuff, right? Like you don't have much off throttle momentum. So yeah, that's why I really like it on the 3.5-inch props. I do wish though that we had a little bit more of a 3.5-inch prop that was a little bit more pitchy. That's why I'm leaning towards. So Gemfan has confirmed that they're going to do a prop with me. There's going to be a CiottiFPV prop, and I'm trying to figure out if it's going to be a 3-inch or a 3.5-inch. I'm still a bigger fan of. So, you know, we're talking like sub 250 mainly, right? When we're talking about micros. And sub 250, in my opinion, is best on a 3-inch prop, not a 3.5-inch prop. From a flight characteristic standpoint, not from a power standpoint, not from a vibration standpoint, not from a black box standpoint, right? None of that stuff. We're talking from a, I want to fly my micros in a similar way to how I fly my 5-inch rigs. And I want to have a similar flight experience where if, and you know, with a 5-inch rig, one of the big things that everybody loves is the ability to throw them up over trees and whatnot, right? So, yeah, just from like just from that perspective, I really think 3-inch is the way to go. Like there are a couple of 4-inch frames that, and 3.5-inch frames, right? But you can run 3-inch props on those, right? No reason not to. It's kind of wasteful, but you know, if I do a 3.5-inch prop, you can't run that on any of the 3-inch frames, and arguably 3.5 is too big for sub 250. I really like the way that 3.5-inch feels up closer to 300 grams. So yeah, it's kind of interesting. If I were to do a 3.5-inch prop, it would be, I think it would be a 35-35. I think that would be a cool, you know, fun little naming nomenclature. And 35 pitch is, I think, about right. We've got the Gemfan 3.5s, which are 35-20s. We've got the 20 pitch. We've got the HQ 3520s as well. They copied right off of them. They also have a 25, and then there's a Emax Avan 3028, I want to say. And that's it. There's nothing higher pitched than that. So a 3535 would be cool, because the other reason it would be cool is that a lot of these 2004 motors that really turn the 3.5-inch props well are 3000 kV, 2900, 2800, 3000, 3100 kV, and a 3535 propeller would match up really well with that lower kV. So yeah, I'm really tempted, but I think what it's going to be is a 333 prop. I think it's going to be a 3-inch 33 pitch prop, and we can play around with, you know, halfway to hell and all that fun stuff. But we'll see. We will see. I have no idea what. Hey, who sent me this iFlight Beast? Do you want it back? Because I'm going to build this with the Aikon. Was it, Matt, was it you that sent me this? It might have been McConnell Studios that sent me this. Matt Anderson says, do you find that dynamic idle impacts floatiness? I feel like my rigs got a lot more floaty when I started turning it on. Unless your dynamic idle is set improperly, it should actually help. Dynamic idle will allow the idle speed to come down lower than fixed idle. So it should actually help. The easy way to tell is to just invert the rig. When the rig is inverted, if you have too much idle throttle, you will get noticeably less hang time. So throw the rig up over stuff and throw it like a knife edge, and then throw it like a knife edge on the other side, and then throw it inverted, and then throw it like looking straight down, and just put it in as many different orientations as you can. And if you find that when you're inverted, it has noticeably less float, then yeah, look at your idle and potentially your digital idle. But yeah, digital or dynamic idle rather should help if you're setting it right. The point to dynamic idle is that you can set the absolute lowest low point. So with dynamic idle, you know, set it by the 80% trick that I've showed you guys a million times. But then if you want to chase the dragon there, I find that just doing the 80% trick with a 5 or 5.5% idle is totally fine. But if you want to chase the dragon, you do the 80%, and then you go out and fly it, make sure it doesn't desync, and then you turn it down a couple points. You turn that dynamic idle down a few points, and then you go out and you fly it again, and you keep doing that until it starts desyncing. Once it starts desyncing, then you've gone too low, and you want to bump it up like 2 or 3 points so you have a nice safety margin. And then, so, you know, do all that flying over grass. And that's how you find the absolute lowest possible dynamic idle. The only problem with that is as your idle comes down, you're bringing the motors down into an area where they have less torque and less response time, so you can hurt the PID loop by doing that. Because, not really hurt the PID loop, but you can hurt the PID loop's ability to make corrections quickly. So you might start getting like bobbles when you jump on and off the throttle, or like delay, right? Because the PID loop needs to be able to spin the motors up really quickly. And if you bring that dynamic idle super low, when it goes down really low, you're going to pull the motors down into an RPM where they have a hard time speeding back up. So you could be hurting the response time, and you'll notice it by because so think about it, right? That's only happening when you're at zero throttle, so you're going to be able to notice that if you have bad flight behaviors at zero throttle versus when you're just flying around, right? When you're just flying around, you're pushing it into prop wash, stuff like that, you're not at zero throttle, so digital idle doesn't mean anything. So if you're not at zero throttle and the flight characteristics are fine, then your PID loop's good to go. But then if you're chasing the dragon, trying to get your digital idle lower and lower and lower and lower and lower, dynamic idle, not digital, yeah, you can bring it down too low to the point where, like I said, when you're at zero throttle, there's some weirdness going on, just because the motors can't spin up quick enough. to handle that. So there you go. And there's I guess you could kind of sort of use thrust linear to help with that. Thrust linear is going to boost the PIDs at 0 throttle, so that'll give you more PID loop authority at that 0 throttle point. But again, if you're pulling the motors down so low, if you're trying to run that digital idle so low, there's a point where even with a shitload of thrust linear, it's just a response time problem, right? Like the pouring P gain on the fire is going to help a little bit because digitally it's going to attack the uncommanded gyro signal, data basically a little bit earlier, a little bit harder. But yeah, this is why most people recommend that you don't go below 5% on your idle, and why the new Betaflight default is actually 5.5%. I used to go all the way, I used to kind of chase that dragon, and I would go all the way down to like 4 and even 3.5 in some cases. And it was just a balancing act of like, how low am I willing to put this? How much 0 throttle wobble and inconsistencies and just nonsense am I willing to put up with for a little bit more float, a little bit more hang time? So yeah, that's how you chase the dragon with your idle. Mutteritskin says you should go off reservation and do a 3.1 inch prop or something. It would probably fit almost any 3-inch rig. It's interesting. It's a really good idea because then we could do a 31-31. The T-Motor 3140 is my favorite. M5 mount 3-inch prop. The whole 0.1 thing is the whole 0.1 thing is kind of interesting. I mean, it would separate it from, so there are a bunch of 3x3 props out there. Not a bunch, there's a couple. And it would separate it from that. It would separate it from that crowd of 30-30 props. Kind of like that idea, Metal. And then, and then we could do I could do a 31-31 and then a 35-35 down the road. If you guys buy a bunch of the 3-inch props. Tommy News says, what's your opinion on a high-powered, slightly overweight 4S 2-inch? I don't like the way stuff like that flies. There's a point, there's a balance between the propeller size and the all-up weight of the rig. And toothpicks are a drastic example of very low all-up weight, very big propeller in relation to the all-up weight. So a toothpick flies very floaty. When you're on throttle and when you're pushing forward, they are fast. But as soon as you back off, or if you're trying to fly it kind of freestyle-y with, not a lot of nose down, they're fairly slow. On this heavy, a 4S 2-inch rig, right? No matter what, 4S batteries are going to be heavy, far too heavy for a 2-inch rig, by normal standards. Is going to be the complete opposite end of the spectrum. It's going to be a small propellered heavy rig. And with that setup, my problem with it is not enough float. The propellers are so small that they don't act like a very good parachute. So when you come off the throttle, they just fall out of the sky. Like if you make enough power, you can fire them up into the sky to get a bunch of float. But if you're doing sideways stuff, there's kind of an inconsistency, right? Because you got tons of power, so you can fucking hammer it up into the sky, and then you get your float because it keeps going up and then it keeps coming down, and it feels like it's actually floaty, but it's not. It's just overpowered. The problem with that is if you do anything other than fire it up into the sky, like if you're just cruising and you just drop the throttle, or if you're doing something sideways and you drop the throttle, it comes down quicker than you expect. So it really, for me at least, it really screwed my muscle memory. And I would crash those rigs a lot. It was the acrobrats that kind of turned me on to this. My acrobrats were up at like 300 grams on a 3-inch prop. And yeah, it was just too much. I would just hit the ground a lot. So it kind of depends. If you have other, like if you're used to flying like an 800, 900 gram 5-inch rig, it's gonna not be anywhere near as bad as a 4S 2-inch rig, but it's gonna be more of a representative kind of thing. So yeah, I mean, whatever rig you enjoy flying one way to kind of spec out your rigs is to just kind of look at all of them and just think, like, which one do I like the flight characteristics of the most? And whichever one that is, take a look at the all-up weight and the prop size and just think. And you can, if it's a 600 gram 5-inch rig, that's a fairly floaty 5-inch rig, but it's nowhere near as floaty as a toothpick, right? Toothpick is a whole nother level of all-up weight to prop size. So yeah, that's a way to then that's a way to dial in the rest of your builds. There we go. I'm exhausted. I did not, I could not go to sleep last night. Mike and I have been staying up late working on quads and breaking shit and whatnot. But I had a bunch of stuff to do. Hey, great question, John Goblin. But before I forget, tinywhoop.com has a shitload of new motors in stock. And you should go check them out because donkeys. Because yeah, there's some really exciting, cool, different motors in there that I haven't seen anywhere else. That don't exist anywhere else, I should say. Let me check on something real quick. Oh, damn it. Okay. Yeah, tinywhoop.com, yo. Hold on, please. Oh shit, there it is. The Mobeetle is in stock over on tinywhoop.com. I'm very tempted to get one, but I just don't want those motors. It's got 0702 23,000s on it. I have no interest in those motors. I just bought a Runcam Nano 3. The frame is garbage. I would literally be spending $120 just for the AIO, and I'm not going to do that. I'm going to be patient and be an adult and just wait for the Diamond ELRS AIO to come out. Because I do have a build spec'd out for that. It's the 0702 build, right? And also, I have a set of 0802 30,000 kV tinywhoop.com motors coming that I'm going to put on bi-blades and just tear a hole in space-time. So that should be interesting. I'm going to motor limit them down for sure. But, we'll turn it up to 100% at some point. But yeah, if you want a Mobeetle, there's a couple in stock at tinywhoop.com. I'm not gonna snag one of these. I just put my order in last night, and complete with overthinking and all the good stuff. So I have been alluding to a new. I haven't been talking about it much, but back when I was flying this guy a bunch. I was alluding to a motor that I was helping Tommy put out, and we'd been talking about, and it just came out. It's the Ummagawd 1605 3700 kV. Tommy came to me and said, "Hey, what's going to be like the next big thing?" And I was basically like, "Looks like 3.5 inch." So he was like, all right, cool. I'll do a 3.5-inch frame, and we need a motor for it. I was like, go 1804, or you can be different, and 1605 is probably the best for a 3.5-inch prop, especially like a 35-35. If I were to do a 35-35 prop with gem fan, that would be fucking perfect for this 1605 motor. Although 3700 kV is a lot. So that 3700 kV is probably enough for these Gemfan 3520s. I think that it looks like the top of the bell is completely flat, so I don't think you'll be able to run the Emax Avan props on it. But yeah, like I said, 3700 kV should be enough. 1605 is roughly the same stator volume as 1804. And they look just like the Aerolites, so they should be, in theory, they are made by RC and Power, which is a good thing. Hopefully they'll be a little more durable than these Aerolites. I have not heard great things about the durability. I have not flown these yet, so I can't speak to that. But people I trust, like CiottiFPV, have had durability problems with these Aerolite motors. So we'll see. I'm looking forward to getting these up in the air and smacking them around a little bit to see how they do. But yeah, that's what I think of the 1605 3700 kV. It's a really interesting stator size. I kind of can't believe nobody else has made a motor of that stator size. Think of it this way. So the way that one of the ways to quantify the way that a motor will the way that a motor will feel on the throttle is to look at the ratio of the width to the height of the motor stator. And just compare that to motors that we already understand, all right? So we'll go opposite ends of this, not opposite ends of the spectrum, but this should make sense to you. A lot of Cinewhoops, a lot of you have flown 2004 motors on Cinewhoops or maybe a 2Fiddy. So 20 millimeters wide, 4 millimeters tall. So think about that ratio. So take that 4 millimeters tall, 4, 8, 12, 16, 20. All right. The height goes into the width 5 times. So that's a 1/5 ratio, right? 1-to-5 ratio. For every inch of stator height, for every millimeter of stator height, there's 5 millimeters of stator width, all right? Those motors have a ton of grunt down low, but then at the top of the throttle, they kind of flatten out. They fly almost like a muscle car, where they have a bunch of torque in the low throttle and the mid throttle, and they keep making power up top, but they don't skyrocket at the top of the throttle. A 2306. So now we're going to talk about 5-inch motors. Well, and that works for Cinewhoops, right? Those fat motors work really well on Cinewhoops because you spend most of your time in the middle of the throttle, right? You don't hammer a Cinewhoop at full throttle almost ever. So then we've got like 2306s and 2207s, which are the most popular 5-inch motor. Those of you that have flown both of those motors for any period of time will probably have figured out that the 2306 is a more grunty motor with more action kind of going on down low and in the middle of the throttle, and then at the top of the throttle they still make more power, but it's not like a bomb going off. 2207, 2208s even, as you get up towards the top of the throttle, they just keep making more and more and more and more and more power. And that's one of the things that with those motors, you end up hurling yourself up into the clouds all the time, and then you just got to sort of wait to come back down. And now think of the ratios there, right? 2207, 7, 14, 21. Call it 21, 22. So a 2207 is a 3-to-1 ratio of height to width. Which is why they fly like that, which is why, you know, even when you get towards the top of the throttle range, they just keep piling on more and more power. It's almost like exponential up there, kind of like a big single turbo 4-cylinder inline 6, something like that. Not much going on down low, but then as the RPMs climb, as the throttle position rises, they just keep accelerating more and more and more. So these 1605s, 5, 10, 15, 16. So it's a 3-to-1, so it's going to be similar to the way a 2207 or even a 2306 feels. 2306, 6, 12, 18, 24. So 2306 is a little less than 4-to-1, but not quite 3-to-1. It's right in between there, which is why the 2306 it has a more balanced kind of feel, in my opinion. There's enough up top. There's a good amount in the middle, down low. It tends to have better throttle resolution because there's less power in the entire throw. So yeah, the 1605 is kind of the same theory, right? Where it's going to give you as close to a 2306, 2207 throttle to power ratio, feel, donkey, whatever. Tommy News says, I had a 73 gram 3S 2-inch on 5,000 kV, and do you want to see a clip of it? I have had way overpowered 2-inch rigs as well. I know what they fly like. They just fall out of the sky. But put it up in Video Collective so that everybody else can see it. Paul McDonald says that Aikon ESC didn't come back to life when I got the daughter board back on. It's still passing power to the flight controller, but no motor beeps. I was thinking of trying a SkyStars or Hack RC. That stinks, Paul, that it didn't come back to life. Going from an Aikon to SkyStars or Hack RC is going to be a pretty shocking experience for you. You're basically going to be going from the best ESC that exists to completely unknown lower end ESCs. So even if, not even if, you're definitely going to spend less money on a SkyStar or a Hack RC, but they're going to blow up much, much, much faster. So I have not found it to be worth it. The ratio of how quickly non-Aikon ESCs blow up to their cost is all wrong, and I ended up spending way, way, way more money buying cheaper ESCs over and over and over and over and over and over and over again versus an Aikon. If you get one of the, so here's the trick: if you get one of the Aikon ESCs that has the little daughter board soldered into the middle, just look at it, you'll see there are Aikon ESCs where you look at them, and it's the main PCB, and then there's another PCB that is soldered in like 6 or 7 or 8 points. But those little solder joints are the only thing holding that little daughter board on there. So you just get some epoxy or even crazy glue and just run a bead around that daughter board, and it'll never come off, and it's not a problem. And then you've got a hilariously durable ESC. Not all Aikon ESCs have that, though. So some of them don't have that, and those are going to be incredibly durable right out of the box. But the ones that have that daughter board, those are the ones that I've not been able to kill in literally years and thousands of batteries, and hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of crashes. So, yeah, that's kind of the situation. I would not recommend... I mean, it sounds like the Aikon ESC maybe didn't last all that long, which is not representative. So maybe you're not used to ESCs lasting long. So maybe you won't be as shocked going to a SkyStar or a Hack RC. But I can tell you that I put a Mamba ESC into the test bed glide, and I am staggered at how shitty that thing is compared to the Aikons. Like, I am so spoiled with the Aikon ESCs just being completely bulletproof, that the Mamba ESC, after 20 or 30 batteries, I'm like disgusted by how quickly it's starting to shit the bed. So yeah, Aikon and T-Motor Electronics are going to set the bar incredibly high, and it's going to be hard to go to anything else, in my experience, and many others that I trust. So. But everybody's different, maybe paying $20 less for an ESC will allow you to sleep at night, and, changing it 2 or 3 times as often is not as big of a deal. but it is for me. I hate working on these things, and I'm just, you know, very cheap. And, you know, FPV as a full-time job doesn't pay very well. So, yo!
What up?
BobNoxious is in the house. Tommy News says, cool, will do. The end, LOL. What's that mean, Tommy? You guys done?
Well, I dropped Lance off. I don't know where Mike's at.
He's not in the light.
Not in the light. Put some light on me. Ooh.
It's a wild BobNoxious. A wild BobNoxious has appeared.
I'm gonna borrow your bathroom.
Cool.
My bladder controlled where I went just now.
Yeah, BobNoxious is here, and Family Guyver as well are here, and then me, them, Mike from GemFan, and a couple local folks were out flying. I feel like I'm weirdly backed up on chat. No, I'm good. Paul McDonald says maybe less than 24 flights. Yeah, I've shown that. I've shown that trick a couple of times on the live stream, but you know, it's hard. Like, I can't show it once a month, right, to make sure that everybody sees it. So yeah, kind of annoying, but it is what it is. Zanakis is in the house of FPV Exchange. What's up, brother? He says, Aikon and T-Motor in all of my builds, thanks to CiottiFPV. Tommy News says, I was just saying that I would post it on the Discord. Nice. Awesome. Love it. Paul, how did you... So wait, Paul, did you know about that? And then you were being lazy? Or... Because I've done that. I've put Aikons into builds, and I've seen that it's not been prep. So I call it prepping. And that's the name of the... Typically when I show how to do that, that's what I'll name... That's what I'll put in the title of the live stream. Prepping an Aikon ESC. Had you seen it before, or did this happen and then you went searching and maybe found one of my videos or something like that? I'm very curious as to what the sequence of events was there. Let me plug this 250 in and see if I can figure out what the hell's going on with it. I could probably watch one of my old streams and figure it out, but what the hell fun is that? Okay, so I need this stupid little 90-degree angled shit bag.
Working on stuff?
Yeah, always.
Always. Of course.
Always and forever. Hey, chat, who's got a question for BobNoxious? This is your one and only chance. Not one and only, but this is a rare chance to ask him anything. Paul McDonald says, it was the first build I did like a year ago. Then I found you. I know I had seen you do it, but never went back and checked. That's okay. I wouldn't either. I wouldn't tear a build apart just to epoxy that shit on. So you're in good company, homie. Zanakis dropping links to CiottiFPV.com. Thank you, brother. I don't know why I'm yelling, but you know.
Give me some light.
Just in case you decide to come say hello. I need a 2S battery. Not 2S. Why did I say 2S? 4S.
There.
Fam
G.
What else is going on here?
Family Guyver's on chat.
Is he?
Yeah. Hey, Family Guyver. FamGFPV.
Yeah, Family Guyver changed his name. I had no idea.
Paul McDonald.
I just thought it was a new person.
How you doing, buddy?
Oh, you dropped him off already?
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah,
no
his
shit.
flight is in 45 minutes.
Oh shit. Okay.
Yeah. So I wasn't long behind after you left. He got one more
Nice.
pack in. He's ready to pack up. I'm like, no, get your pack in, man.
Right.
You're here to get as many packs as you can.
Yeah.
And that's what he did. He had a blast.
Awesome. All right, so let's see if one of the channels is blowing up. No, it seems all right. I wonder if I was gonna switch this ESC just because. Oh, you know what? I feel like it wasn't flying right. Wasn't it flying like shit, guys? Does anybody remember why we took the 250 down? Why I put it on the shelf? I feel like there was just too much electrical noise on this AIO, and didn't I put a capacitor on it? I guess not. Yeah, I did. I did put a capacitor. I feel like I put the capacitor on it, and it still was not quite good enough. Let's try this, though. So, when you guys are having issues or shit, or just want to see like old builds, here's how you do it. You go to the channel. You can do this on anybody's channel. You go to video. Well, you don't even have to go to videos. Look at that. There's a fucking search function that'll search just that person's channel. So if we search for 2Fiddy, it's gonna pull up all the 250 content. So 5 months ago is when I gashed my finger on the taking this apart.
Oh, I remember that.
That was 10 months ago, 10 months ago, 7 months ago, 10, 10, 9, 7, 10, 10. Okay, so this is definitely the most recent. I mean, I don't know what we're going to really learn for this. I can't sit here and watch this for long enough to figure it out.
No.
But fuck it. I need to test this Aikon AIO, so we're just going to go for it. We're just going to put it in. Steady Eddie says, are you or Bob going to multi-GP IO? Anyone else from the collective? I don't know of anybody that's going other than Mike from GemFan.
Yep.
IO is more...
That's a drive for me.
Race-oriented,
Yep.
but not completely race-oriented. There is a freestyle flight line and other FPV pilots there, so if you're into that kind of thing, yeah, get it. Walked over a mile to find his gate, Family Guy ever said. Yeah, the Atlanta airport is notorious around the world for that, actually. Ooh. The Top Gear guys have actually mentioned it.
Yeah, imagine. I was 19 the first time I went to the Atlanta airport.
Right?
Yeah, I flew in from Pensacola.
Yeah,
and my gate was well over a mile away. And I had to take the subway to get there.
Right.
I didn't know the airport had a subway. I was tripping on that.
Yeah, Jesus, right.
Great. The employees there were great. The flight attendants were great. They're like, nope, you need to go this way. And
better hurry.
one of them was like, no, you're on the wrong side. You need to go that way. And I'm like, oh no.
I'm like, screwed.
Yeah. So I discovered the subway.
All right, so we're just gonna yank this JHE MCU, and then so this isn't gonna get done today, I don't think. Although let's see, if the pads are in the same spot, there's a chance it'll get done today. So wow, they've got a USB out on the corner. This ain't getting done today, friends. Maybe. Hold on, if I put that USB out the side... Actually, we might be okay. If I put the USB out the side like that, it looks like these guys are going to probably hook up in here, maybe even over here. Battery at the rear, which we already have. You never know. I'm going to get pissed working on this, though, because my flux pen has run out of flux. But, you know, that's life sometimes. Let's see what we can get done. I thought that I'd already done some of the work on this. I thought we just needed to finish this, but yeah, this is a full kind of AIO swap. That's what this is, Paul McDonald. This is the Aikon 60 amp or 65 amp, whichever. This was sent to me by Ryan Harrell of Mini Quad Test Bench a few weeks ago. But that's when Rampage was going on, and I just didn't have a free minute to do a damn thing with it, unfortunately.
65 amps?
60 or 65, yeah.
Ooh,
I don't.
That's a beast.
I know.
It's got the fats on it too.
It does.
Yep.
Yeah, this should be good, but it's still an AIO, so it still might blow up for no reason. But let's start soldering shit to it. I'm going to try to just pop these directly off of here and just transfer them over. So let's see what the hell these pads are. Probably video, right? No. S-Bus. What is this labeled as? So I'm on the S-Bus pad. Why am I on the S-Bus pad? That's weird. TX6, ground, power. Okay, so that's going to the Oh my god, I have a fucking RXSR on this. What an idiot. Why would I do such a thing? I have an RXSR in here. Oh god. I'm assuming I didn't have a Crossfire at the time, so that's why I'm using the S-Bus pad. Well, I'm not going to rip the whole ass end of this apart, so it's going to stay with FR Sky. I have a feeling I ended up doing a giveaway or selling this rig anyway, so, you know, whatever. RXSR will allow, no matter who gets this, to get it up in the air, and then maybe if they want to move it over to Crossfire or Ghost or Tracer, don't do Tracer, Tracer sucks, or ELRS, that's on them. I just have to find an S-Bus pad in here. Where are you hiding the S-Bus pad, Aikon? Oh, so over here, this is a whole DJI area. We've got a 10-volt pad, a ground pad, T3, R3, another ground pad, a pad that appears to be labeled R? RI? What the fuck is that? And then we've got Voltage Plus. Ooh, that's cool. They've got VBAT over here. They've got VI, I'm assuming video. CC, camera control, I guess. Another 10-volt pad. Mm-hmm. And that pad appears to say UO, VO, VG. Video out, VO. Is there not an S-Bus pad on here? Is there not an inverted UART? That would not surprise me, because this is a new product, and why the hell would you put an S-Bus pad on something that you're releasing in 2022? But let's look for a wiring diagram. Who did I see was selling this? Let's see if that'll find it. Hey, didn't find it. Yes, it did. Oh, and it's an F7 too. That's pretty cool. PyroDrone site doesn't work on this computer. Maybe I can just get away with one of these. Let's see. Nope. It was PyroDrone that has it there. All right, so let's see. FPV store. One of these websites has to work. Here we go. But there's no wiring diagram. What about, okay, so that site doesn't work. See if Aikon's site works. Hey, nope. Why? Why not wiring diagram, Aikon? Are you kidding me?
Is it that new?
Kinda.
Yeah. I saw Zanaka said he just got a bunch of them in on his store.
Hey, speaking of, hey, Nevin, do you have the, have you seen the wiring diagram for this? Does it exist? I think Ryan might have sent it to me. Wow, there is not a wiring diagram anywhere. All right, hold on. I gotta give you guys this camera, and you gotta look at my big dumb face while I dig through Facebook messages. Hang on. Hang on. I'm pretty sure that Ryan sent it to me. Like a fucking month ago. It does have a, for the record, it does have a BMI gyro. But Ryan's been having really good luck with it, so we should be okay. Come on. I swear he sent it to me. Maybe not. No, here we go. May 5th. What is it? April, May, June. Yeah, that sounds about right. Sorry, guys. I need to find this because I need to figure out where the hell the S-Bus pad is, if there is one. If there isn't one, I'm going to have to take it apart, because I'm going to have to get to the uninverted pad that's on the body of the RXSR, at which point I'll just put a Crossfire Nano in it. Damn it. Wait. Oh, here we go. Full-sized fets. Jesus, it was April that he was, that we started talking about it. It doesn't look like he sent it to me. So routing diagram for the Aikon AIO. Alright, cool. Not cool. I don't know what I'm going to do. Paul McDonald says, I see an RSSI PP and a PPM, but no S plus anywhere. I know, right? 661 says F7 doesn't need an inverted pad.
True.
Right. And it's an F7. Good fucking call, 661. Cool. Metadirtskin following up with the same thing. Alright, good deal. Man, it's been a long time since I put regular FR Sky stuff on a thing. I completely forgot about that. So the question becomes, what pads are we going to use? So we're going to use even numbered pads so we don't have to deal with any boot nonsense. Alright, so there's a T4 and an R4, T2 and an R2. Okay, cool. So, and then that looks like a 5 volt, and then, is that a ground? What is that? I think that's a ground. So there's 4 pads right there. Jesus, they're small. They're wee little pads. R5, T5, RSI, 5 volt grounds. Yeah, no, we'll be good. Put it on T2 and R2. I think that's 5 volt and ground there. God, that is hard to see. Okay, let's tin it, and then we're just gonna transfer the RXSR directly over, and yeah, we will move on to the next, which will just basically be the video and power VBAT rather going to the RunCam hybrid. This is a RunCam hybrid build. This is probably like one of the only 250s with a full HD analog RunCam hybrid setup on it.
Really?
Yeah, because the Tommy and what's his face made this camera cage for me.
For the hybrids?
Yeah, and
nice.
then he said he was going to put it on the website. Ah, Ryan is working on the manual.
That explains things.
I'm actually good, just realized with the help of chat that it's an F7. I couldn't find an S-Bus pad, lol. Alright, we're tinned. I forget what the order of the pads is. T2 is on the left, R2 is on the right, awesome. And then 5 volt is on the left, ground is on the right. Okay, cool. So let's get it. And then on this board, it looks like T is yellow, Y is right next to T in the alphabet. So let's do that first. Alright, I'm actually going to kick all 4 of these off because this will be fine. Since I used yellow for the wire that goes onto the T pad, that makes my life easy enough where I can just pop these off and then not have to worry about remembering what goes where, or getting them confused and doing it wrong, rather. I'll be interested to see. I think I'm going to do this capacitorless, and that should really test how clean or dirty the Aikon board is. So that'll kind of be an interesting little side quest test.
Yeah, definitely.
Alright, you know what? I'm actually going to take... What the fuck is that? What is this single white wire? What? What is this single white female doing? That's that's smart audio, isn't it? Yep, that's on a TX pad. That's a very short little cable. That is gonna fuck me over. Alright, I'm probably gonna have to take this Runcam hybrid off. I'll show you guys why in a minute. Let's get this out of here. This wants to be with that bundle, and then these guys are just video.
Denzel just popped in the room.
Nice.
Yep.
Alright, so that's... What's that? Video out or video in? That's video in. Okay, so this is the video coming from the... okay. There's another little set of pads over here. Alright, well I can see that this is going to the... to there. This won't be too bad. I can still pull this all the way apart. And know where everything goes. Alright. Who's building in chat? What are you building? Denzel says, what did I miss? Not a whole lot. I realized that I thought the 1804 is actually a little bit too small for 4-inch props. The 1804 is perfect for 3.5 inch, but for 4-inch it doesn't quite have the response time. The 1605 might actually be a little bit better because it has a little bit more kV, and it's gonna hit the battery harder and just ask for more power. Is one way to think about it. But for me, the 4-inch props are best on a 2004. These Aerolite 2004s with a 4-inch prop are wild. Well, I mean, any 2004s on a 4-inch prop are pretty nutty.
What's the kV on those?
These are the 3500s that
Nice.
Tommy made, like, kind of for us.
Yeah.
I don't know how I keep convincing people to make motors for us, but, you know, you guys must order a bunch of shit from them when I'm not looking.
I believe it.
Alright, let's get these motor wires off of here, and then we can pull this old ass not HGLRC, JHE MCU AIO, which hopefully I hope that I'm remembering correctly that it was just too electrically noisy. Because I remember this rig flew great when it was on the 20x20 stack, of course, because 20x20 stacks are 10,000 times better than AIOs. But then I think I remember putting it on this AIO, and I just could not get it. I could not get the tune into a place where it was getting rid of all the nonsense.
That's a Jimco.
Say again?
Is that Jimco?
What's Gemco?
Or JHEMCU?
JHEMCU, yeah.
Yeah.
Is it?
I don't know how to pronounce it. That's why I just been calling it.
Right.
Usually those are pretty good.
Yeah, they've made some good stuff. I've heard a fair number of complaints about their stuff. This is also a very old AIO. The older the AIO, the worse it is.
Yeah.
With electrical noise.
Makes sense.
Yeah, it's. I will say that the AIOs have gotten a lot better, which makes sense because this was like one of the first AIOs to have a ESC FETs that were big enough for a big powertrain like this. And yeah, that was back then. These were a hot mess, and I don't know why I thought I could make it work. I guess I maybe thought like that 4.3 with the new filtering, yada yada yada, might get it under control, but nope. If you're gonna do an AIO on anything that's like above 2S, make sure you get a fairly new one if you want it to fly right, or if you want it to have a chance at flying right.
Do you ever try putting a cap on a 5-volt rail?
No, I haven't.
I've learned that trick from off of Oscar Liam.
Right.
He had a said something about video noise because I was having a lot of video noise in my area.
Right.
But it's my area, it turns out.
Mm.
But I did put the cap on the lead, and then I stuck one on the 5-volt, and it actually
Actually,
cleaned
you know
up
what?
a lot.
I have done that. And I do remember it helped a little bit. It didn't fix the problem I was having, but I have actually done that. I didn't know anybody else did. I was just like, I'm putting caps everywhere. Let's see if it helps.
Yes.
Interesting that others have actually done that. That's pretty cool.
Oh yeah.
I'm weirdly getting used to soldering without flux right now. It's kind of strange. I cannot wait to have another flux pen though.
I imagine so. I had a flux pen, and you know, you stick it and you have to jab it to get the flux to flow onto it, and it never came back out. Like, the flux just started flowing out all over my desk, and I was so mad. So I just bought regular flux paste, and I just dipped my tip in it.
Right.
Yep. That's what she said.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what I keep doing here. Weirdly, the most recent FPV crate came with a thing of
Oh, that's nice.
yeah, tip tinner, but I don't think that's exactly flux because it certainly doesn't work as well as
Right.
putting liquid flux on there. But you happen to know what VOC stands for when it comes to flux?
What is it, viscosity? Not viscosity. I
Yeah,
don't.
I think it's a chemical. Hey, chat, does anybody know the flux pen that I got? The only flux pen that could be here by tomorrow was a no VOC flux pen. And I don't know what VOC is. I'm fine not knowing because I'm just going to see if the damn thing works. And if it doesn't, if it works, volatile organic compound. Interesting. Terminal Insanity says a jar of rosin flux is nice to have. It never runs out. Yeah, I wish that.
That's what I do.
I wish that I had a tub of flux a long time ago when I first started soldering, and then when I got the solder pen, I was like, wow, this is way better.
It's super convenient.
Yeah.
It's super convenient.
And I fucking threw it away. That was back when I lived in Charleston, actually.
Oh.
I remember I threw that shit away because it was a big old tub and it was taking up a bunch of space in the toolbox. And fuck this.
Yeah, I bought a little can of it off Amazon.
Flux pens all day. So motor wires are removed. Now what's going to screw me is the capacitor that's soldered to this thing that's like buried in the ass end of the rig. But luckily it looks like I soldered it to the bottom and I will have some access to it. Happy days are here at last. Look at that. Cool.
See, yeah, I'm still here, Danzilla. I dropped Fam G off at the airport.
Water-based. Non-VOC means water-based. That's pretty cool. Good call, Robert. All right, let's get these capacitor leads off here. I guess since it's buried in there, I might as well just reuse it with the Aikon board. And the big thing with the I'm almost positive that electrical noise is not going to be a problem with this board because Ryan's had a good go of it in a couple of rigs. But so that just leaves us with the durability is the big question with AIOs. Like, is this an AIO that's finally able to take a hit? So capacitor or no capacitor, that's not going to really affect that much, if at all. All right, so here's a toothpick AIO. Maybe I'll use this for, I don't know what I'll use this for. Find something for it. Actually, I'll just probably end up giving it away. I am going to pull this lead off because it looks like it's the perfect length. Is nobody in chat building? Tag me if you're building something so I can see what you're building. I want to know. Want to know who is suffering along with me. It's very important. It's important business, friends.
Oh, I see. Paul McDowell says, get over and monitor chat like Mike did.
What did he say?
Paul says, I need to get over there and monitor chat like you had Mike do the other day.
Yeah, right?
So funny.
That was fun.
Yeah. Yeah. I like it when you have guest people on the show and stuff.
Yeah.
It's really cool.
Yeah, there's plenty of good people too. Yourself included. There we are. I think we're good here. Yeah.
Let's see.
Okay, cool. Alright, so this, should I mount it right side up or upside down? I'm going to do right side up because these pads are only on single side. So I'm going to put this battery lead right the hell back on. And, well, let's tin the whole thing first.
You got a few people building. Z.
Grassa Vista.
Yeah.
Terminal Insanity says, Brandon Woodford says, suffering slightly building first Kiss build, Apex Kiss Ultra FCFC. What's up, Doom Rider? How are you, man? Athix says, building frustration at work. Paul McDonald says, Cinerat, I'm putting together with parts I have 3.5 to play with, no ducts. No 1FPV says, finished Corv Chimera 7, ton of LEDs, installed QAVS. John Goblin's building OS 3.5 with 1505 Tokas. That's pretty cool. That build will just hammer, John. Z says, I'm designing. Does that count? It certainly does. Athix says, sorry for having to work. I had to tear mine down 5 times. Crash for HD0. Jesus.
Oh, God, yes.
Monitor 10 started raining, so it's toothpick repairing time. Nice. Mr. Huggy's doing a 4-inch Mod L. Why are you building a 4-inch rig, Huggy? What's the just for funsies, or is there you got something in mind for that? I'm always curious as to what people are doing with 4-inch rigs, because I just can't find a super compelling use for them. Although I'm very curious how they would do carrying a DJI Action too.
Oh, Aber's building his first ELRS whoop.
Nice. What do you what's the build, Aber? So this board does have little tiny capacitor holes in it, which I like. But I have this capacitor on on wires in the rear of this thing on a cap. So I'm actually going to close up these holes and just use that area where the holes are as a longer pad, basically.
I do the same thing. Most of the time I'm attaching wires to the leads on my caps and putting it somewhere else.
Yeah, it's hard to hang and I know it's more durable that way.
Yeah, I broke a bunch of leads off the pads, and
right?
crashes and stuff, and then also got a crap video right after that.
Right. All right, so we're good now. Let's get this guy on here. What are we at? Positive is, god damn it, on the bottom. Well, I might be sending this out the opposite side now.
I just came into an ELRS module, and I got a receiver delivered today at the house.
Nice.
So I'll be putting that on a rig, probably my long range.
Electronic goop, friends. This is the stuff that I was showing you last week or the week before. Thermally resistive putty, massadhesive.com. This is blue tack specifically meant for what we do. Cool. I've used this a little bit now. It works just as good as the blue tack does. It's probably, I don't know, it was just sent to me. I don't know what it costs, so if it's way more expensive than blue tack, I don't necessarily know if it's worth it, but one of the points behind this is that it doesn't absorb, in theory, and this is what I'm told. I haven't tested it enough to actually know one way or the other, but it tries not to absorb heat, which is a really good thing, because what we're actually doing with soldering is just moving heat around and putting heat in the exact right spot. So when you're, there's a chance that the blue tack is making it harder for us to solder because it's absorbing heat. And again, this is supposed to fix that. Not fix that, but solve that issue. So yeah, I've been using it a bunch. It seems to work really well. I didn't really use the blue tack all that much, so I can't really speak to whether or not it's better than blue tack or worth the money. But, you know, cool people making cool products. Supporting them is always a good thing versus supporting the huge evil corporation that makes blue tack. Maybe they're not evil. They're certainly huge, though. So yeah. And it's black. That's always a good thing, right? Who wants blue on their desk?
Right.
Alright.
Aber's building a Happy Model, F4AIO, Tiny
Nice.
Whoop onesies, 2200 kV, 22,000 kV 0802s, BI cam, and cockroach frame. Sounds like a winner.
Yeah. Who's gonna get some of the new TinyWhoop.com motors? Who's gonna test some of these fucking wild new KVs with me? Anybody? Anybody brave enough? Where are all the Tiny Whoop freaks at?
Yeah.
Because that's what you kind of have to be to try some of these motor RPMs and sizes. Admittedly.
That's funny.
What are you about to say, Bob?
Oh, Denzel said I should have brought my band and I could be playing a soundtrack in the background. Yeah. You know, we're a little loud for that, for an apartment complex. I can tell you that right now.
That...
Aber ordered some 30,000 kV motors.
Nice. Which ones did you get, Aber?
Let's see.
That's better.
Mm-hmm.
This no flux thing can go to fucking hell. This is ridiculous.
0802s.
Which ones? The EXs or the full cans? So Tiny Whoop got 0603s in, which are super interesting, but I think it's too small. A whole bunch of 0702s in, which is really interesting. And they also got a bunch of the full size regular 0802s, as well as the Happy Model EX 0802s, the really lightweight ones. And they even say, Jesse even put on the website that the EX 0802s are very fragile, and he doesn't recommend them because of that. So yeah, and that's what we've heard here from a bunch of people, but they're very light. They're actually lighter than the 0702s. So if you don't crash your Tiny Whoops really hard, those EXs are going to be your best bet. You're going to get the weight of an 0702, but then the power of an 0802. And I actually talked to Jesse last night about the power, asking like basically, do the EXs make a little bit less power because they are smaller? The can is a lot smaller. The bell is a lot smaller, and he said no. He said they make the same power as the regular ones, which is, I mean, that's the way it should be, because, you know, they are an 0802, so it is the same size stator. The bell design doesn't really have anything to do with power, and they are all made by Happy Model, in case you're wondering, which you could have probably figured out by the fact that they have EX 0802s. But yeah, there are some changes. They've got PDBs, which is awesome, so you can switch out your cables for Newbie drone battery leads, and then run the directly plug into to the Newbie drone AIOs.
Yeah, he went EX.
Nice. Aber, if you crash your Tiny Whoops, let me know how those are. I'm not ordering a set yet because it's, you know, I crash constantly, so it doesn't seem like a great idea for me. But yeah, let me know as you crash them how they hold up, because I would love to use those for the lighter weight. but I've heard bad things about the durability, and I'm not going to play the game of swapping those out all the time.
Aber gets to be the guinea pig.
Yeah. Man, I am tempted as hell, though, to get like 2 sets of them and then just pound on them. I can't imagine that I would go through 4 replacements all that fast, but yeah, I don't know. All right, hold on. This ground wire, I cannot get it. I can't get it into the little thing. So here's something that I'm checking with this stuff is a lot of times this got pretty hot. The blue tack will get all over. This stuff does not. Like there was a tiny little piece of it that kind of pulled, and then I just pushed it and it's gone. This stuff does not stick like blue tack does, which is really nice. So yeah, I dig this. I'm digging this stuff. It's every bit as good as blue tack, as far as I can tell, and it doesn't seem to do anything any worse. So support these guys rather than support engineers, yo. I mean, that's what people that come out with parts for us are. Just stuff for soldering, right?
Oh, yeah. I'm all about supporting the little man.
Hell yeah.
I am a small business owner myself, so
right.
You know, I try to keep it small.
Always. Keep it small, the title of BobNoxious' sex tape.
Brown chicken, brown cow.
I'm burning the shit out of myself on this wire right now, but I just want to get this done. There it is. Alright, the strands are back together. This is a Q&A stream, so ask any questions that you've got. Hey, Nevin, very cool. Thank you for that, dude.
Nice. Oh, wow.
Here you guys go. There is an instruction manual. Looks like it came with it. So the gyro is BMI 270. Is the 270 the gyro that's having problems with Betaflight, the new RC6? Oh, it's got memory on board, so it'll do black box. That's pretty cool. That's pretty rare.
They just released RC7.
3 to 6S. Oh, okay, so they probably fixed it.
I think so.
2 amp 5 volt BEC, 2 amp 10 volt BEC. All right, I'm actually gonna power the. I think I'm gonna power the run cam off of that 10 volt BEC. Nah, I'll put it on VBAT. It's fine. Where is the VBAT? So there's UART2, UART4, UART1, 5 volt ground, PPM, UART5, RSSI. There's the boot button. Buzzer ground, 5 volt, 3.3. Okay. And then on the DJI section, okay, so that is VBAT. That pad I thought was VBAT is. Okay, VBAT video in, camera control, 10 volts, video out. Very cool. Very, very cool. Nevin, you are the man. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Ah, come on. There we go. Brandon Woodford says it's the ICM 0689 that was bricking. RC7 is out now. Very cool. Thanks, Brandon. Athix says you missed out on Castle Crash. I did. Next year for sure. It was just, there's just so much shit going on with the house and everything. It just didn't make sense.
Bad timing.
Yeah, bad timing. And Rampage and everything else. Abraham says 2 sets for the same. Probably going to replace them because I crash all the time. Replace motors. Very cool. Aber, very, 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 very cool. You got 4 replacements and you crash all the time. Now we're talking. Everybody bug Aber the Ham for crash test results of these EX motors because that is the dream. Someone that crashes a lot that has a bunch of replacements. So, yeah.
Safe travels, fam, G.
EX. That he's getting on the plane.
Yep,
Nice.
he's aboard the plane. No, Denzel, I didn't hit any power lines in the last few days. Video before last, I did hit a power line though, trying to matty flip into them.
Are you in a period where you're hitting a lot of power lines right now?
I'm just using them as obstacles more.
Okay.
My comfortability level's getting up, and I see more gaps with them.
Right.
You know how it is. Better you get, the more gaps you see, and then when you review your own videos, you see everything that you could hit.
Right.
Yeah. So.
I had a period of time where for whatever reason, I was just hitting all the power lines. If there was a power line, I was gonna hit it.
Right, now, when I first started, like the first 6 months, yeah, that kept me on the ground most of the time. It's power lines.
It's wild.
That and one quad. It was like
right.
2 quads. About 3 months in, I got my second quad built, and that made things better, and my flying got better a lot quicker because I had something. You know, once one's broken on the bench, you got to know when to fly.
Yeah.
If you go the hard route, that's what you got to do. You got to have multiple quads. So I didn't sim anything. I don't even own a sim.
Alright, I think I am going to get this on this attempt and maybe even pull enough of the solder off to not have a big dick on the bottom of the board. This is where it's driving me insane to not have flux because it just doesn't want to melt. What I can say is that this AIO has a more substantial ground copper layer than any AIO I've ever soldered to because it is just eating all of the heat that I'm putting into it right now and not giving any of it back to me.
BMG hit power lines. And Tori says anyone learns to fly without a sim is dedicated AF.
Yeah.
This is true and has a little bit of a pocketbook too. It's very expensive to learn to fly without a sim.
Well, I don't love it, but it's fine.
Metal Dirt Skin, I think you do have problems. He's got 30 quads now.
Jesus. Wow, so I can actually see that there are at least 4 layers on this ground. That's pretty cool.
That's good. I'm not far behind Metal Dirt Skin. I got 22 right now.
Jesus.
Not fully built, but
right.
If I had all the components to build all the frames I have, I'd have 22. My wife's cutting me off right now. Now it's just maintaining. I can't build anything new.
Yeah.
But she doesn't know that as I'm buying parts, that I slip in extra parts. Oh, I bet she's listening too.
Serves you right.
Love you, babe.
Alright, I got a little bit of solder on the edge of this capacitor. Just gonna wipe that off. There we go. Alright, that should be a little bit better. Let's see. Yeah, now we're good. Okay, what time is it? 8:29, 9 o'clock, bot grinder goes on. You better be ready, you bastards, because
Dab time.
I'm going off to hang out with Mike and Bob, and God knows who else is coming back here.
Honey, I need to add $20 to free shipping. I usually sizzle it, and it comes out every 2 weeks.
Right.
$100, $25 every 2 weeks. You can't go wrong there.
Nice. See that? Look, none of it came off. Oh, I'm on the wrong. Fuck! Have I been on that camera view the whole time? God damn it! Sorry, guys. I just took this out. Did nobody said changed camera? You fuckers. I blame you guys for me forgetting to change it. I really need to. I need to put the capacitor back on first. That's gonna be the biggest pain in the ass. So I also kick this guy off.
I can't believe the hybrid fits in there.
Just barely.
Are the first hybrids smaller than the second ones? Same size.
Same
dimensions.
Same everything. To be honest,
Oh.
it's just different software.
Wow.
Yeah, because the boards they're interchangeable. The V2 will run on the V1 board, and vice versa. I figured that out like 3 days ago or some shit.
Very interesting. Oh, when you were doing the board, the camera testing, yeah.
Yep. Okay, so let me try to get this. Well, hold on. No, let me get the. I gotta get the rubber grommets in here first. If I start soldering to this, it's a pain. It's enough of a pain in the ass to get these rubber grommets in. If you start soldering to it, it's 10 times as impossible. I have this set up for those grommets. These are taller. But at some point, these manufacturers are going to pay attention and start giving grommets with that are the right diameter. Oh, I got tons of space though. Okay, I'm going to use these grommets that this comes with under the thinking that there's a chance Aikon did a little bit of actual research and R&D on what durometer is the right durometer for these grommets, especially with the 32K gyro. So probably pie in the sky thinking here, but you know.
Wow. Athix crashed the Akko at Castle Crash.
Oh god.
Because somebody plugged T-Bird's DJI unit in on him.
Of course.
Yeah. I said, way to go, T-Bird. He's like, it wasn't me. I plugged it in. I didn't do it.
It was just my stuff.
It's just my stuff, yeah. So it looks like he damaged the VTX.
That sucks. Wow, these are tough to get in here. So the holes in this are very, there's a chance that this ain't gonna fit actually. So let me put this onto the mounting holes and make sure that this is even gonna fit in this frame, because these 25 by 25 holes are fairly inboard on this AIO, and if there's like a standoff that sits really close to where the AIO mounting is, this ain't gonna fit. Man, that's a bitch to get that in there. So let's see, real quick. Nah, this should be totally fine. Yeah, no, there's plenty of room. It is going to be a little bit of a squeeze here. And here. Other than that, should be okay. That's going to sit in there.
Hey,
yeah, we should be alright.
That's what she says. I'm going to throw a...
Back it out a little bit. It's manual focus. Oh, wait, hold on. Give me it.
There you go.
Look at this. There you go, friends. That exists. That's from Fiverr, did you say? Etsy?
I'm really not sure where she got that from. I think she got it off of Amazon, honestly.
Nice.
She was getting a bunch of stuff for her office, and that popped up in the you might like kind of thing.
Right.
And, yeah, she's buying coasters. She bought all the support staff at her office coasters that look like the 5 and 3.5 floppy disks.
That's cool.
It comes in a box, the old like floppy disk box.
Right.
She handed it to the that guy Leland. The dude's so smart, makes everybody look stupid.
Right.
He's like, okay, well, who uses these anymore, and why are you giving them to me? And she's like, open them up, dude. It's coasters. He's like, oh, these look real.
Right.
It's like,
they probably
cool.
are.
It's like, why didn't I get some of those?
There's
yeah,
probably 500 million floppy disks on this earth made of plastic that are never going to go away.
This is true.
Might as well put drinks on them.
This is true.
Wow, this is the most difficult rubber grommet installation yet. Just because these holes are so far, like in on the frame, it's just really hard to get those in there. Jesus. So when these are really tough to get in, I'll use these kind of like blunt. These are the blunty tweezers, and like kind of grab halfway here. Man, it is going to be impossible for me to show this to you guys, but I'll grab it like halfway and squish it like that. Grab it up here halfway and squish it like that, and that'll help it like start to get in the hole, and then you just back it out and then you just push like that. I don't know how else to tell you guys that. That's what she said. It's just one of those things. Like, just sit there for 20 minutes and you'll figure it out. So just sit there for 20 minutes and eventually you'll get it in the hole. Know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Just pretend you're 17 again. Come on, you little jerk.
Hey, C Mars, how you doing tonight?
They also have all fucking kinds of components right next to these mounting holes, so that certainly doesn't help. Guess if I do it from this direction, I'll only be running into these FETs. This is probably going to be like the only actual reliable AIO. So I mean, even before I put this up in the air, if you're looking for an AIO right now, this is, I can't imagine that there's any others that are any better than this one. So just get this. It's really expensive. I think it's $100, but they all are. All the high amp AIOs are expensive. It's never going to fly as good as a separate 20x20 stack, but you know, there are frames that only will fit AIOs. So if you're in that situation, this is the best of the worst, basically.
Oh, I do exactly how you're doing it. Squeeze it and stick it.
Yeah, this is the best of a bad situation, is I guess what I'm saying.
Hey, Tommy, how you doing?
Come on, you dirty bastard.
That's right. Let him have it. Kick it a couple times, too.
Click the button under scenes that says Clam Man for me.
Where's that?
Bottom left of OBS. With the mouse. With the mouse.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay, where am I? What's OBS? This?
OBS is the viewfinder, and then down below there's scenes, and then there's Crabman. Great. Clam Man should be one of the things. Shake the pointer.
Oh, this?
Up, a little bit to the left, a little bit down. There it is.
諦めんなよ諦めんなお前どうしてそこでやめるんだそこでもう少し頑張ってみろよダメダメダメやめ諦めたら周りのことを思うよ応援してる人たちのことを思ってみろってあともうちょっとのところなんだから俺だってこのマイナス10度のところしじみが取れるって頑張ってんだよ絶対やってみろ必ず目標達成できるだからこそネバギブアップ
We're not gonna give up. Yeah, the M1's over there. We're not gonna give up. God damn it!
Never give up. You know, I adopted that motto in my stuff.
Yeah.
All my videos, I usually end it with "Never give up."
Nice. I love that. This entire stream is just gonna be soldering on a XT30 and fighting with rubber grommets. But you know, if you've been around for more than one or two of these streams, you should know to expect that. What else is going on, chat? Who's got another brain buster of a question? Anybody? I got the second one in. Look at me go!
Jory wants to see the brand of that putty again. He came in late.
I don't even know what it is to tell you. Massadhesive.com. Electronic goop. Come on, you piece of shit! There it is. Thermally resistive putty. Massadhesive.com. Seems to be really good. Yeah, it works just as good as Silly Putty. Or Blue Tack, rather. Once the flux pen... The reason why I can't tell whether or not it's like resisting getting hot is that I'm not using flux right now, so my timing with soldering is all fucked up. But I've got a flux pen on the way tomorrow, so I'll be able to tell you guys more about it. But to be honest, I don't think it's that expensive. Yeah, you're gonna have to pay shipping. Amazon, you get free shipping, but support massadhesive.com. Don't support. I mean, it's hard to say that, right? Because like on Amazon, you're actually buying it from an individual seller, but you're buying it from an individual seller that's getting fucked by Amazon, and they're having to mark it up because Amazon takes a lot of money. So, you know, supporting someone directly on their website always gets more money into that person's pocket than on a big website. If you're gonna buy Blue Tack on Amazon, though, I know a guy that's real gangly that's got an affiliate link. He can make 1% of that Silly Putty order that you do.
Where's the Moz? Drop the link, Moz. Drop the link.
All right, this last one's probably going to be the hardest because there's a big flying V of capacitors right next to this thing. So here we go, last rubber grommet, and then we'll have 20 minutes to see what the hell else I can get soldered to this. And then I'll put this back on the shelf and forget about it for another 6 months, but then eventually we'll finish it up. Now I'm going to try to finish this. Maybe I'll do another 4-inch Friday next week. And we can get this knocked out. Although actually I'll probably be up with the kids and Maggie next Friday, but whatever, we'll get this going. I do want to get this back up in the air. These Aerolite 2004 3500s have been taunting me, and I am trying to get as many builds off of my shelves before the move at the end of July. So it would be nice to get this thing back onto the wall and out of the penalty box. Oh, that's it. Once you get it in there enough, guys, like, once you get it in there to this point, it's the one behind the, right next to the USB port, right? So once you get it in here to this point, there you go, you can kind of see it. See, it's not all the way through. Just use your fingernail, and you can just kind of pull the rest of it through, and then it'll, yeah.
Yep.
You got to get like more than half of it through, and then you can use your fingernail to pull it through the rest of the way. I guess that's what I'm trying to impart to you guys. And look, they give an extra little rubber grommet. Thank you, Aikon. Thank God for companies that actually have human beings working at them that fly or just pay any attention. Denzel the Terrible says, when are those new FPV cycle motors coming? I ask Bob twice a week, and he tells me they're coming next week. They were supposed to be there last week. They're supposed to be there this week. He says they're going to be here next week. I don't know what else to say. I'm sure Bob wants them to come in so that I'll stop bugging him. You know, you don't get pissed off at Bob, but yeah, it's just shipping is a nightmare from overseas all the time, always, forever. Okay, so I've got this white smart audio wire. Wait, no. Capacitor first. Well, maybe. If I have to extend this smart audio wire, then I probably have to take the whole ass end of this thing apart. So let's put the AIO on the mounting screws, and then we'll see if this short ass wire is going to reach. Of course it's not. So that sucks a big bag of dicks. And the RXSR is kind of buried. I'm sorry, not RXSR. This is going to the tiny tank. Yeah, this has to come off, which is actually not the end of the world now that I look at it. It's I love the way that I mounted this. Let's see. I mounted this with screws down from the top, rather than just screws up from the bottom and nuts, so that I can just do this. I think, yeah, sweet. Well, cool. All right, so I just need to, I can probably sneak the soldering iron down there and just plop a slightly longer wire on this. Although now that I look at it, I might need to rewire this whole thing. Hold on. The pads are in a drastically different location. I do. I got to put all new wires on the tiny tramp. That sucks. Okay. Well, I might be able to do it while it's in there, but Jesus, that's tight. Well, okay. We got time. So, damn. I think I'm going to try to do these one at a time. And I'm just going to sneak the soldering iron down in there and see what I can do here.
So Charles wants to know the story behind Clam Man.
Charles, Clam Man is one of the many things that I've just stolen from other people that I love on YouTube. Clam Man, I originally saw over on Jimmy Broadbent's channel. Jimmy Broadbent is a very successful. Now he's an actual race car driver, but for the last 5 or 6 years, he's been a YouTube personality in the sim racing world, playing iRacing and Assetto Corsa Competizione, R Factor, a bunch of the other sim games, and just a really nice guy, a fellow depression sufferer, and just super cool dude. And yeah, he would play. They would get deep into an hour-long endurance race or a 24-hour-long endurance race, and they would be in like second to last position, and he would play Clam Man and say never give up, and then they would come in third to last. So, you know, there's that. I just stole it. It's just a YouTube video. If you just go to here on YouTube and search for Clam Man, you'll find him.
Yeah.
He's there waiting for you.
Ren on Corridor Crew played Clam Man.
No
on
shit.
One of their episodes, yeah.
Oh my god.
It was so funny. I was like, I can't believe it. Ren's playing Clam Man.
Alright, so what am I wiring this up with? Yellow, white. Okay, so I've got a shitload of these. So we're going to just jack one of those. We're going to get one of those. We're going to get a yellow.
Oh, I didn't know he was a retired tennis player, though.
And a black. Clam Man's a retired tennis player?
Yeah,
what the
that's what
hell?
Tyrone Sandy is saying.
You lie!
It's
You
funny.
liars!
It's funny. I keep meaning to show my mom that video and have her translate it for me.
Oh, nice!
See if that's what he's saying.
Right?
You know, I was like, oh, let me see. I keep forgetting too. So.
Yeah, I need those FPV cycle motors to come. I'm doing a I'm gonna do a Cinesplorer build video for the Cinesplorer page that's coming up to FPV Know It All. So believe me, guys, I'm more up Bob's ass than you'll ever be in terms of being impatient about these motors.
Mike's
Plus,
in
it's going to
chat.
be fun to buy 12 motors and install them all at once. Say again?
Mike's in chat. He said, hello, handsome.
Mike, what are you guys up to? Amazon destroyed a bunch of small retailers and bookstores. Yeah.
Sure enough.
Amazon has destroyed a lot of small businesses.
As much as I do like supporting small business, my wife buys a lot of Amazon.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm guilty of it as well. Try not to.
So
I mean,
convenient.
Yeah. It's hard not to, but we try. We try our best. No, what am I doing? Don't do just one. We gonna batch it. I should have time to batch this out before the end of the stream. All right.
Which FP cycle motors were you talking about?
2104, but a higher KV, 3500 KV.
Oh, that'd be nice.
Which Bob did a short run of for us.
Is it 2 ounce or?
So it's 3 millimeter.
With the
yeah,
adapter?
with
Okay.
the adapter. So all the gem fan props will work, which is kind of all that matters.
2103 ATHIX.
2104.
2104.
2104. Yeah.
2104.
Little tiny bit. The KV is the big thing that I'm interested in. I kind of wish it was a 2004, but I mean that's close enough that it really doesn't make much of a difference. It's the KV that's really interesting. That's gonna with the Cinewhoops, that's gonna really help just to have that little bit of extra PID loop performance and or oh fuck, I'm about to slam into something. Stab full throttle. Hopefully don't die. All right. So here's one of the things that kind of interests me about this putty is it's pretty sticky. Like, you hear that?
Oh yeah.
right? So it's pretty sticky. So in theory, and it is like electronics putty, right? So what if we take a bunch of 30 gauge wires and just quickly push it down into it? Will it hold them? I usually just bounce them off the side of the desk. What's going on in there?
Oh, Avery just had a good one. Your quote for the day. I'm more up Bob's ass than he'll ever be. I'll have to remember that
So
one.
true. The truth hurts. If you're scared, get some black putty. So let's see. Let's see how this works. Yeah, it totally holds them. Alright, I'm super into this black putty, yo. That's really nice.
He done went black, he's never going back.
Never. Never ever. Yeah, that's slick. That's really nice. That holds those like I mean, they're not even like I'm having trouble, not having trouble, but you guys know what I mean. That's cool. This stuff is good. I dig this stuff. Yeah. I wonder how it'll be once it gets kind of dirty. It's definitely stickier than the blue tack. It's softer than the so this is the good blue tack too that Nick Burns turned me on to. It's definitely stickier, and I think it's softer too. See what you think about the difference between those two. Have you ever used this?
No, I haven't.
It's really nice. It's not for everything, but
No, the black's definitely
it's
sticky.
for a lot of things. Yeah, right. A
You
lot
can
of
tell.
things.
Yeah, it just sticks to your fingers heavier.
Right.
More. Yeah. Definitely so. Yeah, I've been meaning to grab some. A buddy of mine gave me the little alligator clips and the little helping hand stuff.
Right.
I use that every once in a while.
Those piss me off more than they like
Lord, you don't know.
actually help me.
The first time I used it, I said, "Were your ears burning?" And he's like, "No, why?" I said, "Because I ain't never cussed you out so much in my life,
Right.
dude. I couldn't keep those arms on, and the magnifying glass kept falling off.
Right.
At work.
Yeah, and like it never holds the wire in like the actual spot that you
Yeah.
want it. It's
Oh, yeah.
always like just close enough, and you're like, oh, well, I'll just use the tip of the iron to push it over. Nope. And it's like they're great in theory, but man, and then like the thing that really kills me about it though is the setup time. Like it takes so long to get it ready. Whereas like with the blue tack, you just fucking plop it down on the desk and just push into it, and then you're kind of like ready to go.
Yeah. One of the magnet clippy things.
What?
Magnet plate thing. I'm
What's
not sure
that?
what Avery's talking about. I'm guessing helping hands.
Oh yeah, there
Oh.
is a magnetic version.
Doesn't JB have something like that?
Maybe
Some
I don't.
new, like,
Yeah, I don't know
tool
where
or
I
something?
saw it.
I can't remember. I do just remember seeing it. Johnny Five's in the chat.
What's up, John E? How are you, brother?
I like he does the old movie stuff in his videos. It's pretty cool.
Really?
Yeah.
Nice.
Like one of my favorite videos was Big Trouble in Little China. I was
Right.
watching his video and it had that in there. I'm like, oh my goodness,
That's cool.
This is the shit right here.
That's super cool.
Yeah, JB has one.
I think he did a video on it not
He
too
did,
long
he
ago,
did.
right? Yeah.
What's up, CMYK?
I can't see if that is. Well, no, not good enough. Not quite good enough. Let's do it again. I do not recommend doing shit like this. Take it apart and do it right. I'm just being very stubborn. And I'll probably spend more time redoing these because I'm being stubborn than if I just pulled it apart. But, do as I say, not as I do, kind of thing.
Johnny said he bought the magnetic thing. He says blue tack's still better. and Johnny, you gotta get black tack. You gotta go black, man.
All right,
Guillermo,
so we got
BobNoxious.
white, then yellow. All right, 5 minutes until bot grinder, friends. Get ready for absolute insanity. Anybody know what the name of his stream is tonight? Anybody know what bot's up to tonight?
I'm sure it's one of the freestyle comps.
Yeah, he's been doing a bunch of them lately.
Yeah, he's doing a Sweet 16.
Nice.
Yep.
I think that's okay. I'm having to check each one of these individually, guys, because since I'm doing it in such a small space, if I get one wrong in the middle, I'm going to have to take the other ones off to get back to it. So there's a little tip for you.
No, Guillermo, I'm just letting Ciotti talk.
If you're being stupid like me, then be a little bit less stupid and at least inspect each one of them individually so that, you don't have to redo it on top of redoing it on top of redoing it. You know what I mean? All right, video going down, and then that's pretty much going to be it. This is...
hey, Guillermo.
After this, all I really need is... After this, it'll go a lot smoother. This was like the one thing that required pain in the ass. So we can probably get this done on whatever the next stream is that I work on this.
Yeah, that'll tapes round 4.
Nice.
Later, Riot 9.
Thanks for hanging, Riot. All right, so this one kind of moved up a little bit. Always try to get the insulation of the wire down on the pad. Technically speaking, my dad told me that the NASA guys actually want you to leave a wire gap, but I don't think their shit is the same kind of situation as ours. Like their stuff is maybe I don't know. It's when I've done that, when I've left a gap of the exposed wires, it always breaks there where the exposed wires are. When I put the shielding up to directly onto the pad, it just seems to last a lot longer.
I agree.
So I don't know. I think the difference is the NASA guys solder so precisely that they manage to not have any solder travel up the wire, whereas when I do this shit, solder travels up the wire, and then that makes the that exposed bit brittle, and then that's where it breaks. I think those guys manage to nail the temperature, nail everything, and then so the wires are just perfectly flexible, and that's probably why they have that
Later, Brandon.
technique.
Was it Woodford? Woodford. Johnny, I'm BobNoxious RX. That's my channel. I was dropping a friend off at the airport and stopping and see Ciotti for a little bit. Bug him while he's working.
Alright, I want to get this one more time. This is... There it is. There it is. Alright, now we're good. Cool. So, these need to get spun up and hooked up to the other board, the other, the AIO rather. Oh shit, I did want to hook up the receiver. Let me really quickly hook the capacitor up, and then I'm going to hook up the receiver because I'm not going to remember the fact that the telemetry wire is yellow for the next time. So let's just real quickly do this. What are we? Ground is on the left, so let's get this guy over here. All right, real quick. Just gonna get this on there. And away we will go. But it's probably 9, so go watch some Bot Grinder, friends.
It's 9.
I'll be back on Sunday, as always, at 3 o'clock Eastern. Is that good enough? Not quite. It's still kind of ugly. Ah! There we go. There we go.
About Grinder has Gerg on today.
Who?
Gert Reg.
Oh,
Gerg.
nice.
Fat Shark president?
Oh, no shit.
I guess. I don't know.
Wow.
That's what Raven187 says.
That's a fucking score. How did he line that up?
Probably because we've been talking a lot of shit about it.
Right?
Did I say that?
God's probably like, I'm coming on.
Right.
Talk shit on me, I'll show you. Although I don't know, I think a lot of the stuff Bot was saying is totally fair.
Yeah. Well, I mean, honestly,
Ah,
you should just be straight up about it. And not beat around the bush. But I guess what they did is they cloned the technology.
yeah, it's a weird situation. I mean, God knows what like NDAs are in place, what he's is or isn't allowed to say. I mean, it's, and I don't know.
That's true. That's true.
And even if that's not the situation, like I don't know. I don't fault the guy for not telling people, oh, by the way, here, you can buy this same thing from a bunch of other people. Like, that's just not how businesses work. And that's not the whole situation, but that's a part of the situation. So, yeah, I don't know. If like, I'm sure Bob over here doesn't tell people that call him for work, oh, by the way, here's the numbers of all my other competitors in case you don't like the way I... like, it's just not something you do. Like,
Not usually.
no, yeah, right. Not unless you don't want that customer.
Right. Exactly. I mean, I will give another number to a shittier hood company so
Right.
that, like, oh, I don't like you anymore.
Right.
No, actually, I don't do that. I try to take on as many customers as I can, but right now we're actually turning business away.
Nice.
We've got too much.
It's a good place to be.
To a certain extent, it is. It's a great place to be. We've actually downsized some. We had a couple of employees leave. We have 3 big accounts that pretty much take care of everything, and then all of the other stuff is gravy. So we're just going to rebuild equipment and vans and stuff like that.
Right.
And then go back into hiring mode. Let's see, exciting time for FPV Cross more.
There we go. That's a little bit better. Without flux, I'm having the issue where the solder is chasing the tip of the soldering iron. So I just wanted to clean that up a little bit. Friends, in case you're wondering what the hell I'm still doing working on this.
Yeah, my first month I did it without flux, and I didn't realize how important it really was until I got some.
Yeah, it's just everything. My God. All right, so let's see if the receiver cables are long enough. They are not. Fuck you. I'm done. Done for the day. I cannot believe that that's not long enough. Okay, so the RXSR is going to need... Well, the RXSR has a plug on it, so...
Oh, that makes sense. Easy. I forgot they have plugs on them.
Yeah.
Because I always take mine off.
Alright, yeah, this is fine. Alright, but yeah, I'm gonna quit since it's 9 o'clock and I gotta get some food and something to drink. My name's Aaron Ciotti.
I'm BobNoxious.
And why did this turn off? Because the battery went dead.
I'm gonna take this red one.
There you go. Demonic noxious. Let me find some. Hey, by the way, the footage at the beginning of the stream was this rig being flown. Here comes some more footage of this rig being flown. I love you guys. I'll see you Sunday at 3 o'clock. Be good. Don't do anything I wouldn't do. And go fuck yourself, Ron Burgundy.
Mm-hmm.